Hi, welcome back to Boolean University. This is how to build a 4-button game controller. We need our Raspberry Pi. We need our connector, a breadboard, 4 buttons, 4 red wires, 5 black wires, and a couple of extras that we'll get to at the end. So we're going to start by placing our buttons. And these buttons are going to line up to the way that they make your character or your sprite move. So this would be left. And this one way over here will be right. And then this one's going to be up. So I'm actually going to kind of stagger it up a little bit like this, so that it's visually a little higher. And the 2 back legs are sitting in the gap, which is fine. And then this is going to be down. And I can't really do the same thing for down unless I want to run wires the other way. So right, left, up, down. And then I've got to wire them in. And the way these get wired in are on each side. Remember, I've got to line up the pins on the button to a power and ground. And these are going to go over here to 14, which is the 4th one. 1, 2, 3, 14. $15. 23. And then 24. Right, so now I've got each button with a GPIO pin associated with it, and it's lined up, each one with the little pin on the button. And it's okay, it doesn't matter, which hole in the row I'm in, as long as I'm in that row. Then I got to do the same thing for the other side of the buttons on the ground, right? And in our first project, we took those from the other side of the button over to ground, but we'll actually run out of ground pins if we do that. So we're going to use the ground rail here. So I plug that into the ground rail, and I do the same thing with the other one. And then I'm going to ground it to the Raspberry Pi. So this is pretty messy, but you can see every button has a power and a ground. All the grounds go to the ground rail. And the one problem we have here is, if you remember, our breadboard, if you look at the back of the breadboard, looks like this, right? These metal rails only go halfway up, and then there's a gap. So for this project to work, we have to actually jump the gap there on that on the ground rail. So we want to put one in there, and one in there, so that that rail is now continuously connected. And that's how I wire up my 4-button game controller. Once I connect it to the code, I can go right, left, up, down.